This podcast is brought to you by HemHealer. Use promo code HemFit at hemhealer.com on your first purchase to receive 10% off your first order.
Thanks for tuning in to the HemFit podcast. This episode is brought to you, as always, by HemHealer. If you got hemorrhoids, you're going to want to get rid of those things. It's a supplement you take orally, and there's going to be a code down below. It's HemFit10 to get 10% off if you want to get rid of those hemorrhoids. Today's episode is with a friend as well, Dena Goldfine. Dena, how are you?
Hi.
You get applause. Isn't that nice?
That's so beautiful.
You get the whole wrap. And Dena and I have known each other, and what brought us together was actually, she's also in the supplement realm, and you were one of the few people that knew about moringa.
Yes,
and you actually brought me some moringa.
I love moringa. Oh my gosh.
And I think it should be the kale of supplements.
Yes.
Right? Like everybody's eating kale till they get sick. And I'm like, why does nobody know anything about moringa inside of the supplement space, right? Because it almost seems like it has to become like a popular quarterback. So you know what I mean? Something has to make it popular, because I don't know of any, you're in this space. Do you know of anything comparable to moringa? And then I want to go in so people understand why we're talking about moringa right now.
Wow. Moringa definitely should be called a superfood.
Yeah. It's like the champ of supplements.
Absolutely. And people totally overlook it. It's one of the few foods that if we didn't have anything else to eat on this planet, we could survive off moringa alone.
Yeah. It's got protein. It's got all the minerals, nutrients. It helps with
vitamin A.
Yeah. And like when it talks about benefits, right? It's like diabetes, high blood pressure, cancer. I mean, you name it. Even for weight loss, when I want to get real, like if I'm really trying to get lean, moringa comes back into play. I should be taking moringa year round. And the thing about moringa too, have you ever OD'd on moringa?
No. I
have.
Ooh. Yes.
So because I'm like a guy where it's just like, if they say take one scoop, because I'm a taller guy, I'm like, I got to float a second scoop in there. So they said this is like a.
You had to ring it too much?
I meringued too much. I did. And what happens is unbelievable. I took 2 spoonfuls of it. Spoonfuls, like big spoonfuls. And it was like 2 hours later, and it was like I had the full-on flu. I was sweating. I was sick. Like everything coming out of everywhere. I was like, what happened? Like what? And come to find out that's how potent it is. And it's a tree. They call it the miracle tree. You can eat the roots. You can eat the bark. You can eat the tree. You can eat the leaves. Anything can be ground up and powdered. And from what I understand, there's not a whole lot of difference between like the root ground up and the leaf, right? You can eat either or. They're both the same nutritional compounds, right?
You can eat the pods.
The pods.
The pods help to balance sugar levels in the body.
Yeah, the sugar. Yeah, for people with diabetes.
Insulin. Yes. You can. We definitely have eaten the leaves fresh.
Oh yeah.
Like just put
you
it
pull
right
it right
into
off
a
the
salad.
thing?
Put it right into a salad, because I know people who do that in the U.S. Virgin Islands and also in Puerto Rico and also in Jamaica. Around the world, people eat moringa, and people are still unfamiliar with such a powerful plant.
Yeah. I think too, just like in America, we're so used to pharmaceutical companies that we'd rather take an aspirin before we'd take. Dena, I can even say for myself, like there's times where I've got something going on or I want to take a supplement, and then I go, well, like in my mind, it's pulling me towards a drug instead of being like, well, hold on, of course this could work. I sell a product that is not,
that works.
Like, yeah, right. Yeah. So it's really crazy. What's your background in supplementation? Is this like a lifelong journey? Was there a switch that made you flip? Because basically, real quick, tell them like what it is you do. Because you basically take supplements and get them into the aggregate. You get them out there, right?
Yes. So I am Dena Goldfine. I am the principal of Higher Heights Group, and Higher Heights Group is a health and wellness brokerage. So we help natural brands, sustainable brands, non-GMO verified brands. We help them get onto the shelves in health food stores.
Boom.
And then,
You get the club horn.
yes, yes, yes. And then we also help them maintain their shelf space in the stores. And then we also help them promote within the retail stores. So we're a B2B service company. So we work with the manufacturers and we also work with the retailers. And then if there's something special going on in the retail space, we will send our team there to help them get it off, move it off the shelf.
Get it launched.
So yes.
That's cool.
And I have been in the natural product space for almost 30 years now.
Oh, so you started in this space then.
I did start in this space.
And what brought you was like, well, I already know the story because we've talked before, but this is like from all the time when you were a little girl ripping around, you were into this holistic lifestyle, right?
Yes, in some capacity. My mother used like simple ingredients on top of our skin, i.e. olive oil. She would give us golden seal if we didn't feel well. She would give us honey. I remember wheat germ flakes. Oh my gosh. I remember her not introducing us to some food colors, like artificial colors, to get down to it. Kool-Aid, we never had that.
Yeah, no Kool-Aid. Because
Kool-Aid.
those colors, that's, I got this. Have you heard of the app Yuka?
No. Do tell.
We'll put it, Jake, make sure we put that in the like the little link after this. So my new Polish mother-in-law, she gets into my food pantry at the place, right?
Yes.
So she's old school, cooks all her meals. Like she's very much into using fresh ingredients and cooks them. So they have this app and she starts going nuts in my place, like hitting the UPCs and hit some of the stuff that I use for working out. And it's like, Ian, this one is a 0 out of 100. I go, oh, that means that it doesn't know this. They're like, no. This product is 0 out of 100 that you're using that you think for good, right? For working out and growing muscle or whatever. But the most dangerous things that they say that were in there were that coloring, the what they use to color food, which I just found strange that, why would we put something dangerous into food just so that it had a better color, right?
That's the American way.
And people are visual
Red, white, and blue.
creatures.
Yeah,
and they don't realize that you can use turmeric for color. You can use chlorophyll for color. They can use beets for color. They can use oranges for color. They can use lemon peel for color. I mean, the plant kingdom is very smart. We don't have to use synthetic products to flavor color or do anything.
God's given us everything.
Yes.
Everything we needed to heal ourselves, all that.
Everything.
I was talking this morning with a personal trainer who's big into, the acidic and the, what's the other thing? Alkaline, yes. Right? Where it's just like when it comes to fighting cancer and I'm seeing a movement now. And I think one of the few good things that came out of the pandemic was people opening their eyes to being like, hey, maybe we should be looking more at plants as medicine instead of just these people that we don't know that are just running around jabbing us with needles. So, thank you. Have you seen since, at least in your business, more people are turning to alternative? Do you think that that's actually what's happening? For me personally, I think that the next 10 years, it will end as long as the FDA, even I just noticed last year, started dropping the hammer hard, which, we stay compliant. But, I knew it hurt a lot of companies, and even to this day, I've got attorneys fighting Amazon right now because they're saying, oh, this is creating a drug, what you're putting together. I'm like, what?
Wow.
So
my background has been working in the health food store. I started some time ago. I started out in the supplement department. It's because I was behind the scenes at my apartment in college, playing with herbs and spices, making my own body butters and my own lotions. I was doing that doing those things as pastime.
And not selling them just for yourself?
Not selling them. Just
giving
for
them out
myself.
and stuff just for self?
Just giving them out, using them for myself, just experimenting. And then eventually I was just like, wait, this is super expensive. I've got to find out how I can get in. So I started working in a family-owned health food store in Tampa, Florida.
And what did you go to school for?
I went to school, oddly enough, I went to school for African American studies. I also minored in public health and a little bit of women's studies. So, yeah.
Got a little bit of everything in there, huh?
Yeah, I did. And then also in my spare time, like when I wasn't in school, again, I was very interested in how the body works. And I had never really heard of stress, but I started understanding, like try to understand the impact of stress on the body when a woman is carrying her baby. And it just took me down a rabbit hole, which I would eventually become a trained doula.
What's a doula? I don't know what that means.
A doula is the woman or man, the person who supports the midwife. You're supporting the family. You're like midway doing whatever needs to be done within that birthing process. You support the parents and help them with their birth plan and help them just to stay on track.
That's awesome because that's, my wife is, she'll be 40 this year. She doesn't mind me saying it. She wants all natural birth.
Yes.
She's like, I don't need, because everybody's like, first thing you do is get a doctor. Da-da-da. Now, the interesting thing then was her sister tells a story of she goes in, she's like 2 weeks out before she has to give birth to my little niece, Chloe. And no big deal, right? It's fine. They grab her and they go, we've got to induce you right now. We got to get this baby out of you. And she's like, oh, what's happening? Take her to the room, C-section, which is like, that's all they do in the United States now. It's like at an insane rate.
Without explaining why? Like they were just like, hey, we're going to do this and you're going to do it.
So here's they gave an explanation, but the real reason was her doctor was about to go on vacation. So anybody that was not going to, they were just bringing in all the pregnant women, cutting babies out of them so that the doctor could get his money. I'm not saying that all doctors like this, obviously. Like when we talk about the medical field, I'm always like, because I have a lot of doctors that attack me too. I'm like, maybe you should just research what I do before you just blatantly attack me. But, and I've had that conversation with doctors like DMs. I'm like, all right, you should be doing the research. Like, why are you upset with me for trying to help? Yeah. Anyways, so they rip the baby out of her, give her a baby, and she's just like trying to get the family. So like the husband's trying to get there, all that, like, and it was just insanity. And my girl is already a conspiracy theorist. So this just set her off where she is like, there's none of this, none of that. Do you look at like natural birth, since it is like you're a holistic person? It seems like that's really what you're into too, right? Is like,
I'm into that. Yes. I have a ton of nieces and nephews. So I've been around many babies. I have 2 stepchildren of my own, and I've been around a lot of babies and help people through that birthing process in the birthing room, and how life would have you. Eventually I would circle back to natural products and staying within the natural products industry, which that is a part of the industry as well, the birthing process. But yeah, now I'm at Higher Heights Group, and we focus on living a natural life, if it makes sense.
How do you go about do people reach out to you? Do you go out and find products that you like? Like I know for myself, I'm online and I hit my credit card up probably 4 times a week just buying supplements off. I want to see how they sell it. I want to see the quality. I want to see the marketing, everything. I'm always most concerned with quality above anything else. So what's your procedure for finding these things? Is there any particular field? Are you mostly, because you're female, are you looking mostly for feminine supplementation? What's your process?
Our process is that we will we interview. First of all, most of the brands that we currently work with and for have been word of mouth. Someone, maybe a sales manager who was with a brand that I previously worked for, they will introduce them to me, and then we take them through a process. We had them send samples to our office in Lakeland, Florida. And
right here?
Yes, right here.
Right here?
Right
Right
here.
in this thing?
Right here. We have them send the brands, or excuse me, the samples to our office. And then we test them as a team. And then we decide, is this something that aligns with us? Like, can we actually sell this product? And then we like to work with brands who are at least or at most familiar with the process of getting on the shelf, because it's a costly process.
Master packs and all that.
Yes.
Yeah, and how they break it out.
Yes.
Ugh.
Yes. You have
Yes.
to be willing to invest back into your brand, because it's a process and it does cost.
And what's just like, because it's a lot of you're working with people, plus you're working with, so what's your favorite part of what you do? Like, what's the thing that if you could just, I say in every part of every business, there's stuff you don't like doing and there's stuff that you love to do. And since you're in like a unique thing with supplements, what's your favorite part of this business, and what's like your least favorite part? You can pick the order if you want to end on a high note or not. We're not ending just on this.
My favorite part of the process is actually, if it's a brand that I'm unfamiliar with, is getting to know that brand. Mm-hmm. And my favorite part is really knowing the story behind the brand. Okay. Because part of what we do is we're storytellers, and brands, they speak a story. So my favorite part is like really diving into the story. Like, does this really, are you doing this just for money, or are you doing this because this is going to help someone enhance their life? I love that part of it. And I also love knowing when something actually works, because there's a lot of trends and fads, and they come and go. And I really love working with the brands that, they may not be the largest brands, but they might be the first. And they might be the greatest at it. And they still need to be put, they might need help to be out there in the forefront, because there are a lot of brands that exist, and a lot of good brands don't make it to the shelf, again, for many, many reasons. Packaging, I love, the packaging.
Right. That's one of my favorite too, is like, when somebody has like a really slick packaging, like whoever did the design and got all this together, like I want to buy it. I don't even know what it does. It just looks nice. Right. It's weird how we're such visual creatures. Right. So,
yes.
And I'm sure sometimes too, is what I've noticed is people either put too much into the aesthetics, or they swing the other way, where they've got this just unbelievably great product and they don't have a clue of how to package it and sell it and all of those sort of things. I kind of find that, because like there's so many products I see, I'm like, oh man, you're like, you just need to get this looking better. And the other ones, products, I'm like, this looks really good, and you should have spent more time on the actual product.
Yes, and there are a lot of good ingredients that exist, and it's just about being connected to them.
Is there any brands that you want to like pump right now that you like love, that your favorites you could say right now?
Sure. Malama Mushrooms, which is a single owner. He studied mushrooms in Hawaii, and they're certified organic. He's using the fruiting bodies, so he's using like some of the most important parts of the mushroom, and he already has a bamboo spoon in the bag, so you can the dose is already there. Flora Health, which is a foundational brand, they've been in the business in some capacity through family since the early 1900s. They've already surpassed 100 years being in business. I love brands that still are run by people. They still like pack the products and ship them out and go like deep into making sure everything is intact. Flora, they care about the fact that they don't want light to go into the bottles. They don't use plastic.
No, it's a big
So
thing
all
these days.
that's important.
100%, especially with like what I'm learning about plastics. Like when my girl got in the house, she's like, "You got to throw all this out, man." She's like, "This will make you like, this can even like put more estrogen in your system. It'll make you less manly." Like, you know, she's like, "You got to watch all these things." You know, just a big dumb animal. I'm like, all right, I'll throw it away and get some glass stuff. But yeah, like the chemicals and stuff. So I think too, there's a lot of quote unquote health products out there that are. That's why I like those apps like Yuka. I'm just like, I don't make anything. We should put the app in there. But, you know, you can be blown away by what you think you're doing is good.
Yes.
And then come to find out it's not so bueno.
Yeah, it's not so great.
So you said like the mushroom farm. So I've noticed like this morning, I had some not very flavorful mushroom drink for like focus and energy this morning, right?
Okay. Was it lion's mane?
Oh yeah, lion's mane, and then another dude. You gotta meet. Have you met Matt yet? Who has the nootropics? That little. They're like little, like you know the kids like little. You twist that little plastic thing up and you, and then like a little thing,
No.
Like applesauce.
like applesauce
no.
little thing,
No.
and it's all nootropics. So he does it right. Like it's not heated; it's just warmed up and then put in real quick. So it's
Wow.
all the nutrients, and they taste incredible, especially when you refrigerate them. Put them in the fridge. Next level. It's good, man. Too. Really good dude, and his is all like a lot of mushroom based. So seeing this heavy push into the mushroom craze seems to be, it's always been around, but it seems to have caught some wind. Like all of a sudden, it's everywhere now, right? And you're seeing all the different types. What is it about fungus? Because like a mushroom is just a fungus, right?
Right. It's
What
its
is
own
it?
species. It's
Yes.
like its own. They've discovered that it's its own kingdom.
Yeah.
Right. So if we had an oil spill, they say that mushrooms could clean up the water. Mushrooms help with the soil. Mushrooms help the body to remove excess toxins or waste. They're good for the brain. They're good for your immune system. They are essential for stress. So, you know, nothing against coffee, but you know, we like to have some form of stimulation in the morning. Some of us do, excuse me. But you could do that alone with mushrooms without harming your adrenal glands.
Yeah,
So
tripping
yes.
your body out.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really enjoy my morning coffee.
Yeah, I get
It's
it.
still really hard for me to
No,
step away
I
from something
totally
like
get it. I totally get it. But then you also, there are some brands who are doing, I mentioned Malama Mushroom. They have a mushroom coffee. So there is certified organic coffee with some mushroom blends
And they're
in
good.
there. Yes, it's good for you. And there's a balance in it too. But totally, I totally understand about the coffee.
So are there any benefits to drinking like decaf coffee? Can that benefit you medically in any way? If not, why so?
I don't know, because I think once they start like pulling things back out of the actual food or plant or herb itself, like, wait, how did you get it out? So I don't know. I think that coffee, good coffee, clean coffee, organic coffee in moderation is essential. No, I mean I see it's necessary. Some people can't get going without a little bit of caffeine.
I just switched over to, I won't do it till I'm up for 90 minutes. So it's not till I get back from the gym. Then I'll have my first cup of coffee so that I'm not relying. And I really like that. Instead of like that addict approach of like, you just hit the button first thing in the morning, have your cup of coffee, maybe have the second one, right? And then if you're using the creamers and the sugary stuff, you start getting the geeks, you start shaking. So, you know, like, they're like, well, man, I don't think this can't be that healthy for me if it's doing all
Dessert
this to
in a
me.
cup.
Yeah.
So you're starting off
With a milkshake.
dessert in
Hot
a cup.
milkshake.
Yeah, so we have to look at all those things. Some people might think that that's boring, that we're trying to focus and pay attention to everything that we're taking into our body, but I always compare it to you you pay attention to what you put in your car, so why not your body?
Well, I have a lot of customers that'll like, they'll try to hammer me on my price, right, of my product. And, I can go like, listen, all the things, it's just like my customer service reps are in America. Like it's hard to keep customer service but I don't take that approach. I go, okay, so you're eating this. You're putting this into your system. Like I'm looking for the highest quality. And I understand a lot of people, they have to be more price oriented. But even in the realm of supplementation, it's one of those things where even we are addicted in this country to quantity over quality. And I have a buddy that I always go eat with out in California, old Marine. And he's always like, we got to go here, Gatoski. And I'm like, why? Because this burrito's as big as your head. And I'm like, but is it good, Bobby? Because I just don't want a 3-pound burrito. I'd rather have a 1/4-pound burrito that's like fantastic. And I think
it's great ingredients.
Great ingredients. And I think like that's the other thing that I think we in the States should be talking more of. The amount of foods that are illegal, like the amount of additives and stuff that are illegal in many other... It's wide open here.
Parts of the world.
Right.
Where people are like, what is that? Nope. You cannot
Can't
ship
do that here.
You can't import that here. No,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Because we can survive off the food kingdom.
Yeah.
It's real.
So tell me, why do you see things just like, obesity's gone rampant in this country. Mental health is basically out the window at this point. We all feel stressed and over everything in this society. It's like, do you see like a movement that's, I definitely see people wanting to find different answers. The problem is that we're always looking towards something on a television that'll give us the answer, and they're all in cahoots with one another, personal opinion. So it's like, what do you think what would you say are some suggestions? Is it to try to help like just turn things around a little bit? Like, cause you know how it goes, especially in your case where it's just like, oh, that hippy dippy stuff, or you're going to get clobbered with that if you say, hey, try this instead of eating chicken wings every night that come out of a deep fryer. Like, do you see things moving in a better direction? And like,
I think like you mentioned earlier in the beginning that people are waking up to the fact that we can make better choices. I do see, it's all about who you are with and who you're in proximity with, because I do see a lot of people are focusing on their health. Yeah. I do, like you said, there's a certain time period where people were like, wait, what am I doing? What am I putting in my body? I think some people are getting relaxed again, which we probably shouldn't. And I do know that the natural products industry has grown substantially. We still have a ways to go. And I just say people need to just get up and move and just keep it simple. Yeah. Keep it simple.
Yeah. And just do like in little things along the way. I think it's just like, first, it's like if you're a soda drinker, just stop the soda. Right. And just like for me to get just to water. So I'm drinking right now. There's no kind of just water. I'm like, oh man. But it's like, I got to do that, especially as we age. Like, you just start seeing that as you age, if you're not taking the precautions and this step, you will turn your body into a prison.
Ooh, that was well said. And I will say, I can't believe I'm going to do this, but I will be 54 on my next birthday.
And she looks 10 years younger than me, and she's older than me. Like, this is what happens. So if there's any thing that'll get you pumped about doing better, putting like amazing skin, not any wrinkles, in her mid-50s.
High quality ingredients.
And take care. I talked to some kids like Gabe, right? Gabe's like 19. I'm like, start taking care of your skin right now. Yep. Like, I didn't pick it up till I was 33 because I started seeing sunspots already in my mid 30s.
But you could turn it around.
So turn around. So I just started doing that, getting my skin right, and like, okay, I got to keep up with my body. I got to keep all these things up and going. And for men, I think women are naturally drawn to that. For men, to try to get them into skincare products and stuff, like, I don't know. You want to do that. You want to do that because I got friends in their 30s, here in Florida, out in the sun all day. And their skin's wrecked.
We want to increase our mineral intake. which is why I actually do sea moss on a regular basis.
Sea moss, yes.
Sea moss.
That's the new
high
big thing. It's
mineral
awesome stuff.
intake.
100%. Yeah, sea moss is is next level stuff.
Next level stuff, yes.
And that's one of your big things. You
Yeah,
make
that's
it,
one
you
of-
get a little jar, you put the
Yes.
old glass
Yes. Amazing
canning
jar.
jars.
Yes.
Boom.
Yes.
All right, we've run out of time, Dena.
Okay. Yes.
But I've loved having you here. Is there
Thank
any way to
you.
get a hold of you, follow you? She's got her social media kicking, and she's doing a great job with it, by the way. I was just on it last night because I was told him, like, hey, you know,
Really?
add that value, right? We're
Okay.
talking about that. I'm like,
Yes.
there it is.
Yes.
Fantastic, right? Like, that's the story. Drive value. Help people, just drive that value. And, like, watching you do that now, I'm like, yeah, man, that's it. I mean, you're doing it on your own interviews. But
So I
looks
would
good.
love for people to help me to grow my TikTok page, which is I am Dena Goldfine. Yes.
We'll put that
then
link in.
on
Link in bio.
on Instagram. I am Dena Goldfine
Boom.
on Instagram. And then
On the
also my
IG.
business page is Higher Heights Group. Yes. And so if someone needs CMOS or if someone is interested in our representation in the state of Florida, Puerto Rico, and now in the Southeast for natural product representation, hit me up.
Boom. There it is.
Yes.
Dena.
Thank you.
Always nice chatting with you, talking with you all the time,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So,
I can't believe. Are we still on air?
yeah, you go.
Oh, we're still on air?
Yeah, we're still going.
Yes.
So, so thanks for watching once again. Sponsored by HemHealer. HemFit is what's going to get you 10% off. Also, find out more about Dena all below here. There'll be a bunch of stuff, a bunch of links. Also, that Yuka app. Let's put that on there too, because I think everybody should use that. You'd be surprised. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.